Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name's Kamada, and this is another Transfer Daily, transfer news, where I'll keep you guys up to date for all the latest transfer news. And a lot has happened. A lot has happened to report. Mauricio Sarri, I want to talk about him mainly in this video, but Petr Cech becoming the new director of football. I did make a video on this a few weeks ago actually, but it has been officially confirmed by Sky Sports. And finally, I want to talk about Antonio Conte, set to become Inter Milan's new manager, and the fact that he's won the legal battle against Chelsea and he will be paid his £9 million compensation. But I'll be talking about that all in this video. Before I do get into the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're around here, and hit the notification bell so you're notified for every time I do upload. And comment down below your thoughts if you do believe Sarri will get sacked. Now, before I do give you guys my thoughts and opinions and the potential future after Mauricio Sarri, I want to delve into the press conference he had today. Now, obviously, he was previewing the Arsenal versus Chelsea game, our Europa League final, which will be taking place exactly next week. He had a press conference today, and he would have asked a lot of questions about his future, expected because of obviously a lot of speculation and rumours in the publications and newspapers. And he basically said that, when the reporter asked him if his job depended on the Europa League final, he replied that, if that was the case, he would walk. He said 10 months is not enough to work at a job, implement a style, get the team ticking, etc. He said that at the end of the day, he wants to stay at Chelsea. He likes the Premier League. He's clarified that he wants to stay at Chelsea, and it just depends on the board. He hasn't got the assurances, and that's the thing I want to talk about is the direction of this football club. Now, the problem with Mauricio Sarri is we don't know his future. And the reason why we don't know his future, because he's been contacted by many clubs. He's on Juventus' shortlist. Obviously, Massimo Allegri will be leaving Juventus at the end of the season. There are two managers, two candidates they want to replace him with. It's Inzaghi, the Lazio manager, and obviously Mauricio Sarri. Now, they have contacted Mauricio Sarri's representatives about his availability, and basically Chelsea have confirmed, Sky Sports, very reliable, they've said that Chelsea will not be sacking Mauricio Sarri because he has met the club's targets of achieving Champions League football and getting to Europa League final. However, if Juventus did pay this £5 million compensation package, then they would allow Mauricio Sarri to leave. And for me, it's quite shocking because at the end of the day, he hasn't been given the assurances. Not once this season has he been told by the club, or has the club released a statement stating that they've got, they're backing Sarri, that he's got the full backing of the board. They're going to stick by him. They understand that it's a long-term project, that it's going to take time to implement, etc. None of that. In February, we had that tough patch, 4-0 to Bournemouth, 6-0 to City, losing in the cup final, and everything was going against us, losing at home 2-0 to United in the FA Cup quarter final. Everything was going against us, but he stuck through it, and the club, not once did he back him. And this is the problem I have with this club. I will be showing you later in this video a statistic, but the club, there's no direction. We hire and sack. We always say we hire this manager for the long-term project, but we simply don't do projects. How much money have we lost paying out managers? There's statistics where we've paid out £100 million just on managers since under the Roman Abramovich era, and it just goes to show, it emphasises the lack of structure, the lack of direction this football club has. Because how can you be having 16 managers in 17 years, right, and paying out almost £100 million, £100 million just on manager payouts? And it's quite disgraceful, but more comical, because how has this happened? How has this occurred? And it just emphasises, the fact that we haven't got a director of football. The board would rather sign players that, are more safe, that hold their monetary value, that, they won't drop their value, and they're more safe players that gain the club profit rather than actually helping the team footballing wise. And as a result, we've regressed as a football club. We've not, we've dropped down from the elite tier of your Barcelonas, your Real Madrids. We've consistently been in Champions League every single season. We've consistently challenged for the Premier League title every single season. But this hasn't occurred recently. We've been in and out of the Champions League. We haven't been competing for the Champions League. And it just emphasises the lack of direction, the lack of footballing idea, the footballing brains in the board. And it's a shame. And it's more emphasises the future after Sarri. And I do believe that, especially after today's comments, that he still feels insecure. He still feels as his job is on the line for no utter reason. He's achieved his targets, yet he hasn't got that backing, that full support, that assurance from the club that he will be here next season. And as a result, because he hasn't got that assurance, I do believe that he's undecided. I don't blame if he walks. Now, I have heard the rumours that he may potentially walk, but I don't blame him. Why can you blame a man who's got Juventus, one of the biggest monopolies in Europe, full backing from the board, full players working on the Ronaldo, two of the best fullbacks in world football, and Hal Cancelo and Alexandro. They've got top players all over the field, unlimited funds, dominating Serie A, a chance to finally win his Scudetto, Italy, his native tongue, his native country. And when you have fans of Chelsea that critique him non-stop, that criticise him for no utter reason, they always boo him. He hasn't got the back end of the board haven't given him assurances or backed him, and his style of football is not really being implemented, and he hasn't got the support or the finances. We've got upcoming transfer ban. It makes you think, why would you blame if he walks? You can't blame the man if he ever walks, because at the end of the day, there's nothing really for him to do anymore. I hope if he does go to Juventus, he wins everything just to prove a statement, just to make a statement to the board of what utter garbage and what a mistake they've made. And it's just with every single manager. Jose Mourinho, a top CV, won everything everywhere, one of the best managers in world football. Antonio Conte won 3 Scudettos in a row. He won the Premier League title in his first season, nearly the double. Carlo Ancelotti done the double in his first season. Fantastic CVs, yet we don't give the backing. There's no direction football club. And it's more what's going to happen after Sarri, the future after Sarri. It's I do believe he will walk. I do believe he will walk, because at the end of the day, there's nothing for him to go anywhere, especially if Juventus is extremely aggressively interested in him. There's no reason why he should stay here. Why should he stay here? The fans are constantly on his back. The club haven't backed him or given him the finances or tools or resources. The players are not capable to play a style of football. So why on earth would he stay here? It doesn't make utter sense. And I completely feel sorry for the guy, because, when he came here, he had huge ambitions. He wanted a long-term project. He wanted stability. He wanted finances. He wanted to challenge for the top trophies. He wanted to be here for a long time, but that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened with him, and it's just a shame. It's just a shame, and I think that he will eventually leave. Obviously, like I said, the club have confirmed they won't be sacking him because he did achieve the targets, but not once have they given him those assurances, and it's just a shame. It's a shame, and I think the future after Sarri is going to be bleak. It's going to be bleak because at the end of the day, we've got upcoming transfer ban, and we're going to fall further behind our rivals, and it's just a shame. But moving into the next point, it does get me onto my next point, Antonio Conte. Now, Antonio Conte is set to become Inter Milan's brand new manager. He's also pocketed £9 million into his bank account, and this is as a result because he's won the legal battle against Chelsea. Now, if you obviously don't know, since he got sacked, Chelsea owed him £9 million in compensation because we sacked him and he still had his contract. Now, Chelsea are reluctant to pay his contract because they believe that he basically breached his contract because of Diego Costa's situation and his behaviour with staff. Now, obviously, with Diego Costa, they believe that they lost a lot of money on Costa because obviously he had that text message row, etc. But basically, Conte stated that at the end of the day, it was a mutual decision with the club that they went ahead with this Costa situation. They backed him. That's his reasoning, and for me, it's utter garbage from the club to even have the audacity to blame Conte for this. Just a penny pinch and not paid £9 million. He deserves his £9 million. He won us 2 trophies in 2 years. Won us the Premier League in his first season. So for me, it's utter garbage. And we've officially lost the legal battle. And Antonio Conte will be paid his £9 million compensation package, and he is set to become Inter Milan's brand new manager. So good luck to him. Good luck to him as well. But finally, to finish off the news, Petr Cech is set to become our new director of football. For me, it's fantastic news. Fantastic news. Now, I did make a video that it was likely to happen, and it has officially happened. Finally, getting ex-legends back that have got emotional connections with the fans, and a footballing brain. He's got high IQ, multilingual as well, can speak many different languages, and I think it's a perfect appointment personally. I think this is perfect. This is exactly what we need to bring ex-legends. Drogba potentially being our ambassador, Claude Makelele potentially being given the role as well, and Frank Lampard potentially being our new manager in the near future. And it's good because, it reinstills that belief, and we're looking to a similar model to FC Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich, and they've got a similar model. Integrate the youth, because finally we have a world-class academy. We need to start utilising it, and a new direction. This is direction. This is what I mean by direction. We've spent 100 million on managers because of a lack of direction, because of a lack of ambition, and as a result, we've regressed as a football club. But if we instill a direction, a belief, bringing ex-legends back, utilising world-class academy, and buying top players rather than buying safe players that hold their monetary value but don't actually improve our football 11 as a whole, I think it's fantastic, and I think that is exactly what we need. And that's just my opinions. But he's officially become Chelsea's new director of football. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the video. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're around here, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.